Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Terry McCafferty. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and may I welcome you all along tonight to this beautiful venue that is the Alley Theatre. For this a night of nostalgia and a walk right down memory lane in our show, A Moment in Time. We have performances for you tonight from many of the artists you may remember from yesteryear, plus a couple of local guests for your enjoyment. We will take you whizzing back in time with many of the old classics you may remember. Please let us hear you sing along, join in with all the songs. I'm sure you'll know all the old classics. When you enjoy that trip down memory lane, remember where we're situated, just up the road from the old Palindrome, only a stone's throw away from here. Many a wonderful night, I'm sure a lot of people that are in attendance here tonight had in the Palindrome. But isn't it fantastic that we have a venue like this now in Strabane to bring a show like we are going to bring to you tonight, and I hope that you all enjoy it. May I take this opportunity to introduce our resident band for you tonight. Firstly, on drums, a face from the past, a man from Sile Mills just up the road, the veteran of the band, a man who played in many of the major show bands. I'll not list them all, I'll be here all night. Will you please put your hands together. Mr. Willie Mullen on drums. And on keyboards we have Mr. Noel McGinley, on bass guitar, Mr. Jim Clark, on acoustic guitar, Mr. Jimmy Mull, and on guitar and vocals, Mr. Bobby Moore, and of course, our local singer-songwriter Terry, who performed those two beautiful songs for us. Moving on now with our show. Firstly for you, before we have any more music, we have a wonderful short video clip to show you. This one has been seldom seen and has been brought to us tonight, so I hope you're really going to enjoy this. It's of the legendary Clipper Carton Show Band playing in the old St. Pat's Hall back in 1955. And just before we go ahead with that, I'd like to introduce to you on stage Mr. John McGinley, and please, ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a big round of applause for Mr. Ard O'Hagan.
Before we start, I would like to mention a few of the relatives of the Clipper Carton. Sadly, Arthur is the last remaining living member. We've got Maura McElroy here tonight, Teresa Loeb, we've got Mary Craig, Fergus O'Hagan, and Betty O'Hagan. So you're very welcome. Now, Art, I'd like you to take you back a few years. If you that way, you might see yourself in altogether livelier mode. Do you remember when that film was taken?
Oh, it's too far back.
Well, perhaps you could, I mean, I'm too young to be doing it because I remember I saw the Clipper Carton when you came back, but could maybe you tell us about how you got involved with the band? What age were you when you were whisked to stardom?
Well, I started in the Paldrum during the war. It was not the first war then. But there was Hugh Tooheys, Hugo Kwon, Terry Loeb, and Eugene Gallagher on drums, and Colombo Gallagher on drums. That went on for a few years. And then Colombo and Eugene had a band of their own, I think. That's what, as far as I can remember.
What year was that roughly? 50s was it, or?
No, that would be 48,
right.
Something around there. And then we were short a drummer, so we thought on Mickey O'Hanlon, because he was playing with Johnny Campsey.
Right.
And we asked Mickey would he join, and he joined. And of course, the Paldrum at that stage was going well when Frankie and Columba left, and afterwards it got better and still better, and large crowds all the time. And of course, there was dancing all the time. And at that time, you would have had other bands there, you know, like. For Katie's, you would have had the Austin Stack Katie band on a Friday night, which meant that in those days, the young people, they could dance slow waltzes, foxtrots, sambas, rumbas, everything. And then when you had the Austin Stack Katie band, they were able to dance to all the sets on a Friday night.
Well, so when did you think, you know, that the Clipper really had made it?
Well, the first we really had made it when we got a phone call to go to Monaghan, which we thought was the end of the world. Like, you know, It was so far up the road. There was no way we could get there, like, you know. So it went on from there. The crowds kept. In those days, there was no television or radio, and of course, it only went from town to town, and we played to a big crowd, and it took us years to get down to Cork.
But I mean, so I've heard a normal dance for you in Cork would be 3,000 people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Could you maybe
We held the record there
Right.
for over 3,000.
And when did you first go to America?
1958.
Yeah.
I always remember that. If you ask me anything else, like I won't remember. I always remember that. But I just wanted to say that in 1902, I think, no, what is it, three?
You're not that
Could
old.
be three, whatever it was anyway. Where they had a reception for show bands in Dublin. And of course we went up to Dublin, and the president was there, and Mary, my daughter Mary, rang me up to Dublin, and when we were presented to the president, she said,
That was Mary McAleese, was it?
Mary McAleese, yes, and she stopped, and she said, the place was packed, like, and she said, oh, show band people, and she said, hold on a minute, she said, Ireland was a bit sad years back, and then there was a clipper curtain, and she said the whole country was dancing after that. So it was a great compliment to us.
I think it's a compliment to you tonight, too, that so many people have turned up tonight because of the show bands, and I think that's down to
Oh, well, that's what they'll come to see Ben McNally.
Right. Well, we could go on all night, but we're not going to. We're going to ask you if you'd be so good as to do something that you're really good at. Sing a couple of songs. All right? Okay. Over and out. Where's yours?
I wish I was in Carrickfergus. I would swim over the deepest ocean, only for nights in Ballygrand, where the water is wide and I cannot swim over, and neither have I wings to fly. I wish I could meet handsome old man to ferry me over to my love and die. My boyhood days bring back sweet reflections of childhood joys I spent so long ago. My boyhood days and my kind relations have all passed on now, like the drifting snow. Well, I've spent my days an endless rover, soft as the grass, and though my bed is free, I'd feel me back now in Carrickfergus and that long mountain road down to the sea. But in Kilkenny it is reported on marble stoneware as black as ink, with gold and silver I will support her, but I sing no more now till I get a drink. Where is it? Couldn't be drunk after that. I'm drunk today, and I'm sad and sober, an endless rover from town to town. Oh, but I'm sick now, my days are numbered from all you young men. And lay me down. Of all the songs this world is singing, a dream that do and don't come true.
Now, after all that, we now feature two of our band members. Firstly, Noel's going to play us a lovely instrumental piece, and then we're going to feature Mr. Bobby Moore over here. Bobby's going to give us a couple of lovely songs. Bobby, he recently joined the Over 60s Brigade as well. He doesn't like to tell an awful lot of people about it. The man is an absolute legend in his own bedroom. So firstly, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Noel McGinley.
looking for you, finding my way wasn't easy to do. I knew you were mine all the while, and it's worth every mile. So lay down beside me, hold me and guide me, and kiss all the hurting of this world away. Hold me so close, I feel your heartbeat, and don't ever wander away. Mornings, evenings, all were the same. There was no music like your name, but I knew when I saw you smile, I could rest for a while. So lay down beside me, love me and guide me, and kiss all the hurting of this world away. Now hold me so close, I feel your heartbeat, and don't ever wander away. Yes, don't ever wander away. Bought the first guitar, just how good the feeling was, proudly in my car. Finally listened 50 times to my two-song repertoire. Told my mom her only son was gonna be a star. Bought all the Beatle records, sounded just like Paul. Bought all the old Chuck Berrys, 78s and all. Sat there by my record player, playing every note they made. I watched them all on TV, make every move they made. Rock and roll gave you all the best years of my life, all the dreamy summer Sundays, all the magic moonlit nights. We're so busy in the back room, writing love songs to you. You were changing your direction, never really knew. I was only just one step behind you. 66 seemed like a year, we were really going somewhere. Living in San Francisco, flowers in our hair, singing songs of kindness the world could understand. Guys and me were something more than just another band. 69 in LA, came around too soon, we were really making headway. Writing lots of tunes, must have played the wildest stuff we've ever played. The way the crowds cried out for us, what we hadn't made. Rock and roll gave you all the best years of my life, all the dreamy summer Sundays, all the magic moonlit nights. We're so busy in the back room, writing love songs to you. You were changing your direction, never really knew. I was behind you. 71 and so when I saw Suzanne, I was so with my old mind band. She came up to me ready, and I took her by the hand. I told her all my troubles and she seemed to understand. She followed me through London, 100 hotel rooms, 100 Radford homes. Didn't like my tunes. She followed me till finally I sold my old guitar. She tried to help me understand I'd never be a star. Rock and roll gave you all the best years of my life, all the dreamy summer Sundays, all those magic moonlit nights. We were so busy in the back room, writing love songs to you. We were changing your direction, never really knew. I was only just one step behind you. Yes, I'm still only one step behind you.
Started to would like to introduce you to, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed one of the stars of our show tonight. And really, he is kind of instrumental as well that this show is actually taking place. Because it sort of happened one day that Maurice Harkin was in town, and he was in a place that he wouldn't go into too often, but he stumbled into Ladbrokes Boogies. And I honestly mean that, it's not too often. And I happened to meet our next artist, the one and only gentleman who will be introducing Brendan. And the conversation came about that Brendan said he would love to have played in the Alley Theatre. He said, in all the old times and all the old venues that they would have played together, he would never have the opportunity to play in such a venue as this. I know, and what a pity. Maurice thought about this, and he had a wee chat later on with Michael Kennedy. And this is sort of where this idea came from. We said, wouldn't it just be absolutely fabulous to see Mr. Brendan Dunny here tonight in the Alley Theatre? Well, Brendan hasn't been keeping too well lately, and in fact he's been in a wheelchair for the last 6 months. And thankfully he's made quite a good recovery in this last few weeks, and we are absolutely delighted that he's with us tonight. He will be making an appearance in the second half as well too. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, will you put your hands together and give a raptor swell of applause for Mr. Brendan Dunny.
When first I saw the long light I dreamt the world held not but joy for me. And even though we drifted far apart, I never dream but what I dream of thee. For I love you as I've never loved before, since first Last night I dreamt I held your hand in mine, and once again you were my blushing bride. We kissed as though we did in old lang syne, and to that church we wandered side by side. For I love you as I've never loved before, since first I met you on the village green. Come to me, for my dream of love is o'er. I love you as I love you when you were sweet, when you were sweet. 16. You don't know how happy I am here. Stand up here. Let's just put the tin hat on my singing career after 60 years. I met Colin McGrath down the street there a fortnight ago, and he says to me, "I see you're singing in the alley." I says, "I am, I." Says, "Great altogether." And he says, "She did not be finished singing." He says, "How long are you singing anyway?" I say, "I'm singing since Moses was a weed." This is a song, ladies and gentlemen, I've never sung in public before, but I'm going to try it tonight for it's one beautiful song. My young love said to me, my and my father won't like you, for you're like all kind. She stepped away from me, and this she did say, it will not be long till our wedding day. She walked away from me, and she moved through the fair. And fondly I watched her move here and move there. Then she went homeward with one star awake, as the swan in the evening moves over the lake. All the people were saying no to ever wed, and that one had a sorrow that never was said. She walked away from me with her goods and her gear, and that was the last that I saw of my dear. Last night she came to me, my dead love came in, so softly she came that her feet made no din.
on this cheated say, it will not be long till our wedding day.